Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm just amazed to have the support, and that also that we can meet in different parts of the world and like be intimate together. It's just warms my heart very beautifully. I'm here now with Yvette, and I'm here with Raphael, and you're in different parts of the world, of the globe. So you will introduce yourselves and also say where you are possibly, and something about your first reflection now, having seen the a peek into that the book is happening. Yvette, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So right at the moment, I'm in the North Island of New Zealand in
Mm.
a small farm town called Taniatua. I don't think I said it right, but it's Maori, so I always find it a little challenging to get my tongue around it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I'm in transition at the moment, I suppose, in from the completion of one aspect of the chapter.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
currently in a bit of a bardo state, suspended in time and space, um,
Mm.
and just yeah, in the unfolding of life.
Mm.
um, yeah, the book. So I suppose firstly, like how we met. So Matilda and I met at a like a conference, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah, core gathering in the middle
A
of
cool
the
gathering.
desert. Yes,
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
Israel.
it was in Israel, yeah, in the desert. It was
Yeah.
a yeah, beautiful time and of community coming together, and yeah, it was a sweet interaction
Mm.
meeting you.
Mm.
And I remember us having a conversation actually about relationships.
Yeah, we did.
Um,
Mm.
beautiful, deep relationship conversation. So it's quite poignant that we're having this conversation about your book.
Yes.
Um,
Mm.
there's just a bit of noise here. I'm just going to ask Regan to stop mowing for a second.
Okay,
Give me a sec.
sure, do that. And it's so amazing how to bring people together, like how we met,
Mm.
Raphael,
Yeah.
and how Yvette came into my life, and to bring you together, which have not met and share. It's so exciting how we can talk about like intimate things, even though we have not, prepared very much or built something before, but that it's possible to be that honest and beautiful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and as you say, I love the how connections come together and how people meet and how friendships and relationships develop.
Mm. And this extraordinary way also with the internet to be able to meet,
Mm.
in these times when we're not supposed to meet, kind of, and when distance really all of a sudden kind of in a way disappears. We can be on different sides of earth. So Yvette, to complete, you have now peeked into the book a little
Back.
bit. Yes, back. Say hello to Regan also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, I think the main thing for me, like that jumped out right at the start, was just the realness, like the rawness of what you were sharing,
Mm.
um, being quite personal, you know?
Mm.
So, and I really appreciate that journey because I've, as you know, like I just finished, well, I haven't finished writing a book, but
Mm.
a fair way through.
Mm.
And it's quite exposing. Like there's no way around writing a personal story without personally sharing your life experience.
Mm.
So I really felt those tender parts of you, like exposing
Mm.
herself
Mm.
and talking about something that is so intimate, around relationships. And there's so much that's shifting and changing around relationship dynamics, and particularly in the circles that we move, there's a lot of exploration of different types of relating, and yeah, and falling into some kind of identity. And then so like I could really feel so much of what you were sharing was quite personal,
Mm.
and from the heart. So
Mm.
um Yeah, I appreciated that glimpse
Mm,
into your intimacy in your
mm,
intimate life.
mm.
Mm.
Thank you very much. And that's like the whole aim in a way. That's like to take masks away and kind of give away the experience of that my body's having, and see if I can like just share that as well as I can. That's like the aim. And
Well, I
then
feel like that's the only way that we can, like, as humanity, move forward as a collective. Actually, like, I really do believe that we're moving from this place of the individual I
mm,
into more group orientation and how to stay in the I within that group dynamic. And it's a we're in that transition again, like as a collective. So it's a tender time. And I feel like the only way that we can actually move forward is to share more of
mm,
our hearts and our vulnerabilities and our realness,
mm,
and not just the flaky storytelling or theory about how things should be, but actually embodying and living what we're learning. It's
mm,
the only way we can integrate as human beings, is to have the teachings, the body, the emotions all coming as one and then sharing. So I really appreciate what you're doing.
mm. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to share some more exciting things afterwards. Raphael, please, if I can invite you to introduce yourself.
So my name is Raphael. Um, I always feel strange trying to introduce myself. It's like, where do I begin and where do I end? But so I'm just going to share
Mm,
what's moving in me in the present. I think similarly to you, Yvette, I feel like I'm in a time of transition.
mm,
Like many areas of my life are in flux, and there's a lot more uncertainty than I'm used to handle. And I don't know, Yvette, did you speak about surrender at some point? But that's a theme which is really coming up for me, and it's a word which gets mentioned a lot, and I feel like I am starting to feel more into it. And it's very much about being okay leaning into discomfort. So that's kind of an emotion I'm carrying and
yay.
have been carrying for the last few weeks with various ebbs and flows. But
Mm.
and I'm calling in from Glasgow
Mm,
at 10 p.m. So
mm.
it's dark and cold and wet.
Mm.
Slightly jealous of New Zealand.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we met at a workshop that you were actually organizing,
Yeah.
Matilda.
Yeah.
How long was that? Nearly 3 years ago
Yes, in Iceland.
in Iceland.
Yeah.
So, and I was really surprised and also like quite touched when you invited me to come and
Mm.
have this chat. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So when you peek into the book, what is your first like reflection of having now read just one chapter? We will talk more about the content, but like a reflection of.
So the first thing that hit me is, so I opened the chapter. It's like, oh, 5 pages, like quick read. But actually, though, there's so much in those 5 pages,
Mm,
which I really treasured. I find sometimes you read books and you read the whole chapter, you're like, I don't know what I just read. Like, there's nothing in this. But this is like the exact opposite. There's 5 pages and there's just so much
mm,
depth, and you throw in a sentence and you don't necessarily explain. You leave it up to the person reading it to really feel you. You don't want to explain, you want people to feel you, and that's quite apparent. And
mm,
yeah, I'm looking forward to reading your whole book. As I told you before we started, it's just there's a lot in there. It's a
mm,
short summary,
mm.
um,
Great.
and a lot that it gave me, well, to feel but also to just reflect on.
Mm,
So
mm,
yeah.
mm. Great. Thank you so much for peeking in there. And thank you both of you for this introduction. And we will share some more. So we're going to complete this part and we're going to do some more sharing. So thank you for this part. It's good to take a breath. So we're going to keep sharing, Raphael and Yvette. We're going to share. You have now read the chapter 32, which is called How It All Started. Yeah. It's been amazing because during the years, when when I've shared, like Yvette, for example, with you, I shared how we are living. And I think also, Raphael, you met my life partner in the last day. Yeah. So
yeah, you had introduced him and you had spoken a bit about your relationship as well.
Yeah. Yes. So I've been like asked, why don't you share? Why don't you, write about it or something? And I have never known how could I ever do that. I don't know how to do that. And now I've kind of, found like a form. So I've kind of this part I could, like 33 different like points that I can like bring down and talk about things that I think that we do in a way that works or something, and then I mix it with kind of the bodily sensation while I'm writing. So it's like a mix of like speaking language and poetry and something, that becomes like. And the funny thing is that I've taken one topic and then just written, and it's not changed. Every chapter is like just like that, not changed. Yeah, so it's just like now it's actually here. I actually have one here, and it's very special. The first one to me, but that's how it is. So what could we share about this now? Where should we start?
Well, I'm going to share my notes.
Yes.
Being a geek. Well, the first thing which really struck me is, and it's something which I have been reflecting on. I think I connected with this chapter because it's something which I've been tuning into. And that is very much, I mean, we spoke a bit, Yvette was mentioning in the introduction about conscious relating. And like many other things in life, I think there's a slow movement towards bringing more consciousness to every aspect of our life, and relating is such a big part. And it's easy to get into doing things the default way or to muddle through things and just let things happen. But I think it's both really empowering and really beautiful, but also slightly scary to say, what is it actually that I want? And that's basically what you said. And what really touched me is there's that commitment to truth, which is uncompromising. And that again is a value which I strongly identify with in many areas of my life. But then there's a commitment to love. And that to me are two of the highest qualities you can hold, at least for me personally. And that's where you started, and there's a very clear of this is what I want. And you described the ending of your previous relationship, and I think that takes so much bravery and so much commitment to yourself in some ways. So you're letting go of something out of a sense of commitment to yourself, which is a complex thing. So it takes a lot of clarity. It takes a lot of willingness to be honest with ourselves. So that's the first thing which struck me, I think.
Beautiful. I'm connecting to like what one piece which is in the chapter is like finding out what am I building, what kind of relation, what competences or values, or what is it that I want to build, what kind of person is there. Like I wrote, that's such a great part. That was such a great insight for me to get, which I write about, that I could actually like bring in someone close to me that is for my blossoming. That's so amazing. So we can actually like embrace into, so like how I can bring people in that make me stronger, make me more beautiful, that has an effect on me, that I grow.
Yeah, and I feel like relationships.
Such an easy piece there.
The university of life, they say.
Yes.
I feel like I'm an Aquarian by star sign, and I have Gemini in moon, so like everything from, and a Sagittarius is an ascendant, so my soul's kind of pointing to the galactic center all the time, trying to stay grounded. And yeah, the relationship piece for me is massive. Like I feel like, particularly if the word default is coming back to me, because I feel like a lot of the times in my life, the relationships that I've had, and particularly the last relationship I had, was a long relationship. It was 18 years. And it was very much orientated around wounds. Like predominantly, I entered that relationship not consciously at all at a young age, and was married to my wounds, you know. um and so and we had an adventure and we had a great life together, and we shared so many experiences that like are really like once in a lifetime experience. So there's a lot that I treasure from that relationship. And also there was so much pain, like there was always like scratching the wound, you know. And I really had no idea until I left the corporate world and, you know, went to a monastery in Nepal and had the kind of realization of, fuck, I've been living my life like based on expectations and all of the things and all of that, you know. Like it was so jarring to my system that I had been in a relationship of this nature. And like for me, the truth part is like such a huge realization, you know. Like I got thyroid cancer because I didn't speak my truth. So I really like, I resonate really strongly with this idea of truth. And it's still something that I am trying to embody. It's so embedded into every fiber of my being to not always speak my truth, you know. And now it's like become so obvious in the moments when I'm doing it, because I'm so connected with the nature of that wound and the nature of where it comes from, that it like my whole system shudders in the not speaking, you know. So I really feel like, yeah, the truth in relationships is the truth that's inside me, actually, is really what becomes the sticking point, you know. And yeah, and so much spins off that. And I realized I attracted a different man in my life now because, you know, I wanted to really like move into that truth part of my being rather than be not speaking and making myself sick. So I hear that part that you're saying about blossoming, you know, in a relationship. Um, Not necessarily being dependent and needing to have the blossom come because of that person and because of that person, you know. Like it's okay. I think sometimes it's like, oh yep, I'm in this relationship, but it's got to, you know, it's not about them making me feel a certain way. And yes, there's a truth to that as well. And also like it is about supporting each other in blossoming, not pulling down each other and just staying in some sort of a loop that's quite violent and toxic, you know. So yeah, I really appreciated how you spoke into that about the commitment and the intention to grow together and to feel good with each other. And yeah, and always being exploring that, not giving that away, you know.
When you're speaking now, I kind of almost hear it's like honoring each other's truth. It's like I'm even like holding his truth, or like listening for the other person's truth, you know, as my own, of course. But it's like if we're together, there will be development, there will be, you know, that kind of truths and change is happening, and honoring that together. That's pretty conscious.
Mm,
Yeah, instead of
for
falling
sure.
asleep and not being aware of desires and longings and being curious in life, or and keep developing. Mm. Like staying alive together, like being alive, like to me it's like two. I am one being, the other person is one being, and then we have something together, so it's like three units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
And I'm sure we had this. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. You can go.
You can
I was
complete.
just going to say, I think this is the conversation we had at the core, was like the entity that is the relationship. It triangulates with the two individuals that you're in, you know. So it's not it actually does, it becomes its own being.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's essentially where I was going to go, and I appreciate one of the other points I wrote is there's that commitment to the clear vision you wrote to keep coming back to it.
Yes.
So there's, as you say, there's this triangle, and you know, I having a clear vision of what you wanted. You mentioned values, Matilda. You know, having values, they're like your compass in life. So they're your own values for you, but also the values for the relationship. And when things are hard or people feel lost or things aren't just meshing, it's like, okay, where are we going? Let's go back to our compass, which in this case is the values and the commitment you established. And I think that's really beautiful. And one of the things that I really liked is, the use of the word commitment, and especially in certain circles, it's really interesting to see people's relationship with commitment, which I'm sure there's going to be a bit of a controversial statement to make, but some people absolutely hate the word commitment. And there's this idea of, no, I'm completely independent and I'm fine on my own and there's no attachment, and oh, you're too attached and all of these things. And actually, there is a lot of truth in that. There is a lot of unhealthy codependency, a lot of unhealthy dependency of any description. But actually, commitment is what gives us the space to grow in a relationship. It's like, okay, I want to dive deep. Will you meet me there? And that doesn't happen without some degree of commitment, I think. So it's like, yes, I am independent with me by myself, but I'm also want to grow with you in this journey. And it's a really beautiful thing. And I think there is sometimes, I think this longing for deep commitment is bypassed with fear, which doesn't allow us to go there, because it's such a scary thing to say, okay, no, I am devoting all of my being to this thing that we're creating. So instead, we might choose, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be committed, I'm not going to be attached. And that might be true for some people, but I think fear definitely plays a role. So I really resonated with what you said around that. It's like, okay, yeah, we're committed to creating this.
Yeah. What I also,
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
Yeah,
Yvette,
go on. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm bouncing off what Raphael is
that's
saying.
perfect. Go.
Um, yeah, this play between like dependence into independence, and then the higher virtue being interdependence. Like in any teaching of teaching of pure essence that comes through truth, not a truth, is that everything is interdependent. Like everything relies on another thing to coexist. It's just how it is. You know, it's the teaching of emptiness in Buddhism, and it's not a teaching that I understand, because it's not a teaching that I've actually can say I've experienced fully. Maybe I've had tiny little fractional glimpses, but I cannot speak as emptiness being felt, you know. So I'm speaking of a truth that's, you know, like of everything, but bringing it back just to human form, the interdependence of is the commitment. Like that's actually like the commitment, to be independently dependent on each other as a whole planetary entity. Actually, it's even beyond humans, but it's like taking it back up again, but just bringing it back to human form. I think that's really important, to know how we weave together and with each other.
And my connection with what you're sharing now is that it's like it's such a power in the commitment. It's such a, that's, I'm writing about that. To me, it's like sexy, you know. It's like it turns me on to feel that people are committed, and to be able to be completely free also as an individual while that commitment is alive. That's like the cool thing, to not like close in to only become this union and forget myself. That can't happen, because then I'm not nourishing the union part to me. So it's about being fully alive and committed at the same time.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
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 It's like
And I think
complete.
the only way that, and I feel like from my experience, is when I lost commitment to myself and the life force was basically just drained out of me, and I was fully in fear and survival all of the time, that there wasn't any space actually for what you're speaking of, is because I just lost my current completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be in our ecstatic current of life, our creative force, our juice of being a human being, and then also linking that and weaving that with another being intimately and being committed to that is, yeah, it's university. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the PhD.
yeah,
It's really
absolutely.
like, yeah, it's it's a challenge. But this is what we've been put on this earth to do, to relate with each other.
Yeah, to kind of trigger each other and kind of clinch together and see how are you going to deal with this now.
Yeah, I came here for a reason. I didn't come here to, like, if I didn't if I didn't come here for a reason, I wouldn't be here.
No, well, one thing that becomes clear too, if you don't want like a hard life, don't be in a try to be on your own somewhere. Being in a relationship brings up,
For sure.
it starts.
Everything.
Yeah, it's like a trampoline into development.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. Hmm.
Let me just see if there was anything else, but I feel like we've covered all the juice,
Yeah.
the core
All,
points. I mean, there was so much. I'm sure we could like spend the whole day talking about it, but
mm.
Yeah, definitely appreciating the conversation. So
Mm.
yeah, wanting, and also I appreciated that you left like some questions there, asking people to kind of reflect on as well. It's like Raphael said, there was already so much to reflect on as I was reading,
Mm.
and then to have that at the end as well was like, oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
It was a nice way to, yeah, complete.
Yeah, because what it is, like the book, from my view, is the best I can do is in sharing some pieces, or of what we're doing, how I'm living, that have made my body, I'm every day I feel bliss now during the whole day. The sexual energy in my body is running the whole time, and I'm walking around in a whole other state than a few years ago I didn't know it existed. So the whole book is like an aim to give away what has happened during that way, to kind of explain what has opened the body up in different ways. And then there's no thought that someone else will do the same. That's not the point, and it's not even the point that it just happened to come information through me in some way, but the reflection, whatever is happening with you while reading, that must be the harvest thing, kind of, because I'm done. I've kind of, but whatever is happening with the reader is like now next.
I yeah, there's this thing, humans communicate with stories, and the stories illustrate truths, basically, and I guess that's how humans communicated for so much of our history, and that's kind of how your book comes across. It's a story
Mm.
illustrating truths. It's like, this is what happened, this is my experience, and there's no dogma in there. There's no like, this is what you should do. There's not even, this is what you need to consider, or this is what you should consider. Yes, there's the questions at the end, but I like how they're at the end. It doesn't feel like a book you're reading to, this is what you need to do if you want to work on your relationship. You're like sharing, this is me. But yeah, at the same time, you can feel, if you let yourself feel the story, I think, yeah, you're reflecting without even thinking, because you empathize with the words. So
Yeah, very, very, very curious what this will, when you have read the whole book, I'm very curious what has happened then, or whatever it's giving.
You should consider a book club, Matilda.
I should consider what?
A book club.
A book club,
yes.
Yeah,
because like, maybe a group of people reading it, and then, because there are so many good questions, and this could be a topic for people to discuss week by week, or 2 weeks, or whatever. But it's it's just a thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the thought of like allowing pleasure more into everyday life. Now both of you are probably in the like world among people who are rather experienced in this field, but to just allow for energy to run in the body and have more part of, like have sexuality and pleasure on the agenda for the day, for one's own life, to enhance life experience, wellness. How amazing is that?
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, to have pleasure more consistently in life, rather than it being an event.
Yes, how,
living in a pleasure state.
yes, and spending time creating, allowing, like valuing time for, for sensing, for like being in pleasure as a tool of transformation, as a tool for growth, as something that, you go to the dentist, you do all kind of things, but but over the day we do all kind of things. What about the having pleasure in there?
Yeah.
What else is like more valuable of the time during every day, really?
Yeah, that's good for people like me to remember, like, go to work and all of these things, and then pleasure is like the after effect, or what will happen if, rather than pleasure is a important part of the day. And you're right, it is deeply nourishing for our being on so many levels. But I think in the culture we share, it's very low down on the list of priorities, if not even shamed, or actively in some ways discouraged. So yeah, it's a complete reversal of that.
And I guess we have turned it around, because that's where the start of the day is for us. We often wake up really early, go into our sexual thing, fall asleep again, and it's just a part of starting the day in a way.
That's one of my favorites, is to wake up, make love, and fall asleep again. That's the best.
How amazing. And how, the energy in the body, it's like living high. It's a life high.
6 a day keeps the doctor away.
I would say so. I would say so. But what's also amazing is that these vessels we're in, we don't even need another person to enjoy ourselves, to feel pleasure. It's right here all the time, at any moment. The sensations when we're present is so extraordinary. So it's like having that allowing for that to have its space, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true. And this is again that thing we spoke about before, isn't it? It's like yeah, commitment to your own pleasure
Mm.
that then adds to the relationship, to the pleasure within the relationship, rather than relying or expecting the other person to be the one that brings the pleasure.
Yeah.
It's yeah, which is another dynamic that can play out in relationships, you know?
Yeah. But rather
Yeah.
extraordinary for to be one being who's responsible to be fulfilled already,
Mm,
meeting another person responsible to be
mm,
fulfilled already, and what kind of you know interaction could that be?
mm.
Mm.
Very different.
Mm.
Mm, mm.
Hmm. It's a beautiful journey, extraordinary journey.
It is an extraordinary journey for sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah, wow.
Mm.
Yeah, it's beautiful you've made this part of your life's work and what you're bringing forth, Matilda. I think it's needed.
Mm. Mm. Great. Let's see if we can start to round up our sharing. So, any last words or reflections or hmm.
No, I think I feel complete in what I've shared already. Mm, yeah, just a full yes to the sharing. Yeah,
Woo!
a full yes to more, you
Yeah.
know. Mm,
Mm. Great.
yeah, always reminding each other.
Exactly. It's like reminding, always waking up to, oh, what else can I give myself? How else can I,
Mm,
increase? Mm.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, I feel the same, Matilda. I feel really complete. I think yeah, I think we've said everything. Everything just landed so well.
Mm.
So
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for spending time and giving your heart and share. And it's a super support for this baby to kind of fly away now, see wherever it lands and whatever it will do.